Hey guys, it's Tony. You saw the word sex in the title and you clicked, and you were not wrong to do so because this video is gonna get nasty. In the good way.
Today in Nerd History!
Superhero comics are in a tough spot when it comes to doing sex scenes. It's not that the medium isn't sophisticated enough to do tasteful and mature sex scenes, and more of that, it leans towards bombastic, larger-than-life characters, and they can wind up seeming kind of goofy when they get down to doing the nasty. Sex computer. Sex computer? Sex computer.
Whoa!
Oh.
Jesus Christ, can't you knock?
Knock? What do you mean knock? This is the living room, you stealth masturbator?
It's fine. I put it in incognito mode.
Who is there? What is happening? I hope no one is jerking off to me.
See, it's great. Everyone's fine with this but you.
Sex computer, load 5 most ridiculous comic book sex scenes and also a bullet.
So we're good?
Number 5, Batman and Catwoman dry grinding it on a rooftop. The ever-increasing sexual tension between Batman and Catwoman was spiraling towards eventual disappointment. But when the moment finally came, I'm not sure that anyone expected it to be so, uncomfortable. Look at this painful flesh pretzel crammed up in leather and latex. These two are going whole hog. Catwoman tweaks Batman's nipples and breaks her frickin' leg to wrap her foot around him somehow. There's no way that anyone here is having any fun. And it's even less likely that these tights and complicated costumes allow for any actual penetration.
Yeah, everybody knows Batman doesn't kill, so he can't straight slay that Poozow. Ha ha, Poozow. Yeah.
He's a pervert, but he makes a point.
Oh yeah, pinch my nips and call me Martha.
Number 4, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver get their incest on, supervised by Daddy. This one's a little too infamous not to mention, despite being super grody. In the Ultimate Universe, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are still brother and sister, but they're also prone to boning each other. Nobody in the Ultimate Universe seems to think that their Lannister lovin' is all that weird, not even Wolverine, who watches them from the bushes. The thing is, around the time that Wolvie admits to his proclivity for peeping, he also recounts the time that he ran into Magda, as in Magneto's wife and mother of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Judging from the art, they met in the molten lava pit from the end of Terminator 2, while Magda was breaking her back trying to balance 2 cantaloupes on her torso. And at some point after that, they must have had sex. The implication being that Wolverine is probably Scarlet Witch's father, which means he willingly hid in a bush and watched his own daughter do it with her brother. People forget that Wolverine's power isn't actually his retractable claws, and it's his Gross Pervert Factor. Healing factor. Number 3, Ben Franklin Max on Doctor Strange's girlfriend. In Marvel Comics, Clea is a powerful sorceress in her own right, as well as a love interest for Doctor Strange. Even though at one point he makes it clear that he's married to the job, and he can't fully commit. So you can't really blame her when she finds herself connecting with historical ladies man Benjamin Franklin after the Sorcerer Supreme ditches her on a time travel mission. Yeah, maybe you could blame her a little bit for some things. Yeah, Franklin was a legendary founding father, but the guy was born an elderly bald man. He was also known as a notorious womanizer. Sex computer. Get us footage of dirty old Ben.
Affirmative.
Beef. It's what's for dinner.
That's right. It's true that Clea deserves to do the dirty with whoever she wants, up to and including old dudes whose faces are printed on money. But no amount of sexual liberation is going to protect her from Ben's ye old STDs. Number 2, Ant-Man shrinks down to go downtown. Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne are divorced at the time of this comic, but they're trying to rekindle the relationship, and it seems to be going pretty well until... Yikes. Okay, well, what do you even do when you've shrunken yourself down between a woman's legs? What's the game plan? Do you start pummeling the meat curtain like some fleshy gym equipment? Really, the bigger issue is what he thinks that she's gonna do when it's her turn to use sexual shrinking powers.
As a dude, I gotta say, there's a lot of appeal in having your balls treated like a fun little bouncy castle. Get it? I'm a puppet, but dirty.
I get it. It's funny.
Okay. And number 1, Buffy the Vampire Slayer joins the Mile High Club, but without a plane. Okay, yeah, technically Buffy the Vampire Slayer isn't really a superhero. However, she did get superpowers in the comic book continuation of her TV show, so who's the jerk now? It's you for thinking that I was wrong. Which I wasn't. I was so right. That means she could lift trains, read minds, and bust out cutesy Joss Whedon dialogue at super speed. More importantly, her new abilities included flying naked while having sex with Angel and crashing into the hills like a filler episode of Dragon Ball Z. She even goes space cowgirl above the stratosphere. Much has been made of the logistics of sex in space, but physics don't really matter in comics. What matters is how they top themselves in the next issue. And how do you beat this? They've boned their way into the final frontier, and after you've done it in the vacuum of space, there's no way you're ever going back to that IKEA futon.
Hey, are you guys done with this thing? Sex computer. Really filthy hentai on screen.